That particular day, when I was in the car being escorted to school, when we turned the corner, the streets were lined with protesters, and they were barricaded because that's how the police had set it up. There were policemen everywhere. I remember being escorted straight to the principal's office. I guess I was there to be escorted to my classroom, possibly meet my teacher, and to get started with my studies. But I sat in the principal's office actually all day with my mom that day, and I remember the federal marshals standing right outside the doors. You could see them. You know, there were glass windows. And the next thing that I saw was all of those people that had been standing outside rushing in, shoving and pushing and pointing at me through the windows. Their faces seemed very angry about something. Just seemed really busy and confusing to me. And I saw them pass the window, and when they would come back by the window, there were kids with them. And that happened all day long, back and forth. Finally the bell rang. It was 3 o'clock, and I remember someone entering the room and saying, "School is dismissed. You can leave." And I distinctly remember that because I thought to myself, wow, this school is easy. Not knowing that what was really happening is that parents rushed into the school and went into every classroom and pulled out every child. There were over 500 kids that actually left the building that day, and it was because I was there. So I had no idea that that was taking place right before.
What made a 6-year-old girl brave enough to face a hostile mob and change the course of history? This is the question we find ourselves asking when we delve into the early life of Ruby Bridges. Born into a humble family in Mississippi in 1954, Ruby's journey to become a pivotal figure in American history began when she moved to New Orleans, Louisiana. Her parents, who were deeply committed to providing a better life for their children, instilled in Ruby the values of courage and resilience. This determination led to Ruby being one of the 6 African American students who passed a challenging test, a test that would break the racial barriers of education in Louisiana. This test was the first step towards attending the all-white William Frantz Elementary School. One small girl, a test, and a chance to change the world. The stage was set for a remarkable story. What does it feel like to walk alone, a 6-year-old against a mob? Imagine a day in November in the year 1960. The air is thick with tension and hostility as a young girl, Ruby Bridges, walks toward the towering gates of William Frantz Elementary School in Louisiana. She's not alone though. Flanking her are 4 federal marshals, their stern faces a stark contrast to her youthful innocence. Ruby is about to become the first black child to desegregate an all-white primary school in the South. As her small feet echo against the pavement, a mob jeers and shouts at her from the sidelines. They're not just adults, but also children, their faces twisted with anger and fear. They throw insults and threats, yet Ruby keeps walking, her head held high. She's a tiny figure against a sea of white hostility, yet she doesn't falter. Once she crosses the threshold into the school building, the commotion doesn't die down. White parents, gripped by fear and prejudice, started pulling their children out of school. The hallways echo with the sound of hurried footsteps and harsh whispers, leaving Ruby more isolated than ever. Yet, amidst the chaos, she remains unfazed. Despite the swirling storm of hatred and bigotry, Ruby spends her first day not in a classroom learning, but in the principal's office. She's alone, but not defeated. Her courage stands as a beacon against the darkness of the day. A testament to the strength inherent in innocence and the power of standing up for what's right, even when you're standing alone. That day marked a crucial turning point, not just in Ruby's life, but in the history of civil rights in America. A 6-year-old girl had defied a mob, had defied the very fabric of societal norms, and paved the way for the desegregation of schools across the country. A day that started like any other, ended with one girl standing alone against a tide of hatred. Even as the sun set on that historic day, Ruby Bridges had cast a long, indelible shadow on the wall of racial segregation. How does a child move forward after standing against a sea of rage? A question that echoes through time as we delve into the aftermath of Ruby Bridges' first day at the all-white William Frantz Elementary School. Imagine, if you will, the solitude of Ruby's school year. An entire classroom once filled with the chatter of eager young minds now resonated with the singular voice of a 6-year-old girl and the woman brave enough to teach her. Barbara Henry, a Boston native, was that woman. She was the only teacher willing to accept Ruby, to see past the color of her skin and recognize the thirst for knowledge in her eyes. For a whole year, Ruby was the sole student in her class, but she never faltered, never wavered. However, the ripples of Ruby's brave stride into history spread far beyond the classroom. Her family too felt the sting of the struggle. Her father lost his job. A man once praised for his hard work was now shunned, his livelihood taken from him because his daughter dared to dream of a better future. Yet, the trials didn't end there. Ruby's grandparents, who had toiled and sweated on their farm, were evicted. Their years of labor reduced to naught in the blink of an eye. The road was hard, the journey fraught with challenges that would have broken many, but not Ruby. She faced adversity with a courage that belied her tender years. She continued to go to school, continued to learn, continued to grow. Her spirit remained unbroken, her resolve unshaken. As we reflect on this chapter of her life, we realize that the story of Ruby Bridges is not merely one of desegregation. It's a tale of resilience, of strength, of a little girl who stood tall against the tides of prejudice. It's a testament to the power of determination, a reminder that even the smallest voice can echo the loudest in the corridors of change. How does one girl's courage echo through the years? That's a question that finds its answer in the life and legacy of Ruby Bridges. After that fateful year of 1960, Ruby grew up in the very world she helped shape. She graduated from an integrated high school, breaking barriers yet again. For a time, she explored life outside of the limelight, becoming a travel agent. But her journey would eventually lead her back to the very place that marked the turning point in her life. Returning to her alma mater, the William Frantz Elementary School, Ruby became a volunteer. She saw a need for children to understand their shared history and took it upon herself to fill that gap. She became a beacon of knowledge, sharing her experiences and lessons with the next generation. But Ruby's contribution didn't stop at volunteering. In 1999, she established the Ruby Bridges Foundation. This organization was born out of her enduring belief in the power of education and the need for tolerance. With a mission to promote harmony through understanding, the foundation continues to create change by fostering a new generation of leaders who embrace diversity and reject division. Ruby's lasting impact on civil rights in America is undeniable. She was a 6-year-old girl who walked bravely into a mob and into history, forever changing the course of education in the United States. She became a symbol of the civil rights movement, her story serving as a stark reminder of the courage it took to defy segregation. Ruby proved that age is no barrier to making a difference. She showed the world that even the smallest voice can create the loudest echo. Her legacy lives on, not just in the annals of history, but in the hearts and minds of those she continues to inspire with her story of courage and resilience. Ruby Bridges, a name etched in history, a symbol of courage and a testament to the power of education and resilience. Her story continues to inspire and challenge us today. Ruby's journey underscores the power of education, highlighting how it serves not just as a tool for personal growth, but as a weapon against ignorance and bigotry. Her story is a beacon of hope, a testament to the fact that change, although daunting, is possible. Today, Ruby continues to inspire, reminding us that every step towards equality, no matter how small, is a stride towards a better world.